So you have been thinking of using the HP Z400 for playing games. In this video, I'm going to show you how you're going to install a graphics card in this machine and transform it into a gaming system. As you can see, the front bit of the HP Z400 will have the following parts. We'll have the power button, we'll have two USB 2 ports, we'll have a headphone jack and an audio jack. At the back of the HP Z400 we'll have the following parts. We'll have the power supply unit, we'll have a rear fan, we'll also have connectors to connect your mouse and keyboard for the old models. We also have 6 USB 2 ports. We have an Ethernet port. We'll also have a graphics card which will come with this machine. As you can observe, the motherboard does not have any connection or any video output. So all the video output comes from a graphics card. In this case, we'll have the FX 1800, that is NVIDIA FX 1800. So to open up this machine, you'll have to turn it to the side. We have a lever where you can pull until you feel a popping sound showing that you have opened the case. Having a sneak view of the inside of the HP Z400, you're going to see the following parts. You'll have a power supply unit. You'll also have the CPU cooler, and beneath it is the CPU. You'll also see a hard drive. I think this is a 1 terabyte hard drive. Moving this plastic cover, it's going to expose some RAM sticks. In this case, we have 10 GB of DDR3 at the speed of 1333, that is 1333 megahertz. Also, we'll have a graphics card, the one which I had said earlier on. This is the Quadro, that is NVIDIA Quadro FX 1800. I think those are the basic parts. And just to say, the power supply unit is enough for most of the cards, for the mid-range cards that you're going to use with this system. I'm talking about all the way from the 750 Ti to the NVIDIA GTX 1050 Ti. Also you can use the Radeon 470, RX 470, and the Radeon RX 480 can also fit here. Also the 570 and RX 580 can also fit in this machine. So this will be totally enough. As you can see, we have a power rating of around 475 watts. Now that you have seen the parts in the HP Z400, we're going to jump straight ahead into what brought you into this video, which is how to install a graphics card. So before we install any graphics card, we'll first have to take out the old graphics card, that is the NVIDIA Quadro FX 1800, which in the modern games, it's not capable of playing them very well. Actually, it can't play some of them. So we'll be showing you how to remove this card to leave the space to install the card. So to remove this card, you're going to look at the side. You'll see the green parts. We have 2 of them. To lift this shroud out, so you're going to press the green part until you hear a pop. Also on the other side, press the green part to hear a pop. You're going to gently lift this shroud out of the way. The other thing is, beneath the card, you will notice just right here, there's a plastic lever which you're going to push backwards. By pushing it backwards, you'll be able to create space to remove this graphics card. Moving on, you're going to place your finger from the outside beneath where the graphics card is and push it upwards gently until it pops out. Don't pull it out. Go back to the lever I had talked about earlier on and push it backwards. After you push it backwards, lift the card and it will be able to pop out easily, and you'll have the card out. So now we'll have to install our new graphics card. We have the PCI 2x16, which has been left behind after we removed our card right here, and this is where we are going to install our graphics card, the new GTX 750 Ti. I have the card ready for installation. So here is the MSI GTX 750 Ti. As we can observe from this card, it has the following ports. We have an HDMI port, we have a VGA port, we also have a DVI port. All these ports can be used to connect to your monitor, and will replace the ports which were earlier on the FX 1800, that is the NVIDIA FX 1800. Moving on, to install the card, we'll have to push it gently. You align it with the PCI x16 slot, card gently until you hear a popping sound. So the card is well secured, and you're going to return the shroud to its place by pushing it in until you hear the popping sound. Both of them are in. The card itself does not require an external power connector, so it will get all its power from the motherboard. It doesn't require a lot of power, and I think this is even nice. It will work with most of the systems which do not have a very powerful power supply, because it requires, I think it has a rating of 75 watts. That's the max power. That is the top power draw it can do for this card. I think all of that is done. Everything required is as simple as that. The card is in place, and the next thing we're going to do is obviously to take the cover and put on and boot the system to see if we are going to get a display from this card. Now that you have your graphics card installed, you'll have your mouse and keyboard connected to the USBs ports at the back of your computer. Your power is connected also to the power outlet. The next thing you're going to do is now to take the DVI cable, or whichever cable among the HDMI, the VGA, and the DVI. In my case, I have the DVI cable. You will take the DVI cable and insert it in the correct manner to the DVI port in your graphics card. Now that the DVI cable is connected to our graphics card, the only thing that remains is booting this system and seeing if it will send any display to our monitor right here, and we'll be able to know if our graphics card is working. Then we'll be able to get into the system and know what to do after doing the hard work. So obviously, to turn on this system, you'll have to press the power button and wait for a signal to be sent to your display. We can see that a signal has been sent, showing good signs of our work. So we're going to press any key. So everything seems to be working fine. The fan is spinning. The fan in the graphics card is spinning, and a signal is being sent to the display. So to highlight, given that it might be that you had not installed an operating system on this computer, we'll be showing that in a different video, how to install an operating system. Because I already installed Windows 10 Pro, it will boot directly into the Windows. Finally, the system has booted. The only thing that is remaining is the installation of graphics drivers, the drivers for the GTX 750 Ti. In my case, the drivers are already installed, but I will create a separate video showing you how to install drivers for any graphics card into your system to be able to play games. We are going to test the capabilities of this video using Mortal Kombat X. We can see the settings whereby we have shadows quality being set at high, texture quality, that is very high, texture quality at high. We'll apply the settings. We also see that the video is at 1080p. The resolution is at 1080p, which will work very well with this card, and you can go to the benchmark to test. We can also use the MSI afterburner to see. We can see we're getting around 50 FPS using these cards. Wow, we can see it's a range from 50 to 60 FPS. That's the frames per second for this game. And that's commendable for such a card. We are at the end of the video. I think we are through with the simple installation of the graphics card into the system. And we can see some of the game performance. So we have converted the HP Z400 from a simple workstation into a gaming computer, which can be used for most of the mid-range games. Some high-end games will struggle, but games like the Mortal Kombat X will work perfectly with this system. Something that I forgot to highlight is that for you to be able to use Bluetooth, the system does not come with Bluetooth. So you can buy a dongle like the one right there flashing in blue to be able to connect to your gamepad to play games in this system. So this marks the end of this video. Make sure to leave a like and a comment, and also subscribe to this channel. At least let's hit 10 likes for me to be able to create more content, because this is my first video and I'm hoping to create even more videos. Thank you.